What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching here on YouTube. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell for the notifications for all these videos. As long as you guys keep watching the videos, especially here on this channel, mostly St. Louis Cardinal stuff, I will continue to make them. It's all about you. You guys have been great and watching them and responding, so it's fantastic. We did the video the other day based on a question and answer session. Hot takes, predictions on the Cardinals, on Major League Baseball. You watched that. I appreciate it. So I thought, let's do another one. I'm searching Twitter, and I see that all these baseball writers, they're putting their Hall of Fame ballots out there, which is great. I love baseball content. I love talking about the Hall of Fame. We did it on the radio show on 590 The Fan, Hot Take Central. It's always a fun conversation. You put the ballot out there, everybody debates it, critiques it. So I thought, I'm going to put my ballot out there. And you're probably thinking, well, Charlie, you don't actually have a ballot because you don't get a vote. That's true. So I don't really have a vote. But guess what? I do have a ballot because I printed it off. Here's the best way to show it right there. I printed off this beautiful 2022 Baseball Hall of Fame ballot, 30 names. And I said, look, if all these writers that really have votes can do a ballot, I'm going to do one as well. So here's my criteria. And this won't be very long, although I said that last time, and the video ended up being 47 minutes. So we'll see here. I do have something to do in an hour or so. Hopefully this is good content. I don't know. It's all kind of trial and error. So as I was thinking about this last night, I thought to myself, okay, I know all these names because I'm a huge baseball fan, covering the sport. Baseball has always been my favorite sport. So I know all these names. I think I know a lot about all these players, but for the guys I was more 50-50 on, last night I went to Baseball Reference and just did a quick, let's say 1 to 3 minute check of all of the who I thought were borderline guys, just to make sure there weren't guys I was overlooking, didn't know their stats as well as I thought. And my mind was changed on a lot of these guys, to be honest with you. A lot of players that I didn't think were as good of candidates as once I look at the numbers, I'm like, man, that's pretty dang impressive. Some other players that I would have thought are more Hall of Fame worthy, and then I look at their numbers and I go, eh. So here's what I'm gonna do. I looked at all of these guys last night. I don't think I'm really gonna dive into the stats again. Here's the way I want to do it. First, I'm gonna go through and just cross names out. So all due respect, I'm just gonna basically say you're not on my list. That's how I'm going to start this. So I'm going through, and the first name that I'm crossing out, Mark Buehrle. I'm sorry, Mark, love you. You're from the St. Louis area. I'm crossing you off for now. Another player I have to eliminate, unfortunately, right off the bat is Carl Crawford. And these guys all had really nice careers, but they're just not Hall of Fame worthy on my ballot right now. So I'm eliminating them. Mark Buehrle, Carl Crawford. And I'm kind of going out of order, but so I've crossed off Mark Buehrle, Carl Crawford, did not cross off Bobby Abreu, did not cross off Barry Bonds, did not cross off Roger Clemens. I'm not crossing off Prince Fielder. I'm not crossing off Todd Helton. Ryan Howard, I can't honestly remember. I think he's borderline being crossed off. I'm going to hold off on that. Again, this isn't the most scientific approach. Tim Hudson, I was a huge A's fan. I love Huddy. Tim Hudson, the big three, Barry Zito, Tim Hudson, Mark Mulder. Sorry, Tim Hudson. I'm crossing you off. Torrey Hunter. Love Torrey Hunter. Great career. Gold gloves. I am crossing you off just for the start here. This doesn't mean you're not a fantastic baseball player. This is just my Hall of Fame ballot. Andrew Jones, I'm keeping you for now. Jeff Kent, keeping you for now. Tim Lincecum, couple of Cy Youngs. I'm crossing you off. Great career, but a shorter career. His highs were super high, obviously, with some World Series and the Cy Youngs. Wasn't able to sustain it with injuries, with his crazy athletic windup that was so much fun to watch. Justin Morneau, great career, but I'm crossing you off. Joe Nathan is a guy that I appreciated more after looking at his numbers again. So I'm keeping him for now. David Ortiz, keeping you for now. Jonathan Papelbon, I'm keeping you for now. Some of these relievers that all have between 350 and 400 saves, they're kind of tough. So I'll keep Papelbon for now. Jake Peavy, really good player, really good pitcher. Nice career, not Hall of Fame worthy in my opinion. Andy Pettit, I'm keeping him. AJ Pierzynski, I'm crossing you off. He played for the Cardinals for about 12 seconds back in the day, whatever year that was, I can't remember. Manny Ramirez, keeping you. A-Rod, keeping you. Scott Rolen, keeping you. Plus, if I didn't keep Scott Rolen, people would come to my house here and try to burn it down. Cardinal Nation. Jimmy Rollins, J-Roll, great player, but just not Hall of Famer on my ballot. I like him on Turner Sports doing all of the commentating. Kurt Schilling, keeping you. And again, this is just keeping you for now. I'm not crossing these names off. So I'm keeping Gary Sheffield, keeping Sammy Sosa, keeping Mark Teixeira. I can't remember exactly. I think he was borderline. I looked at Baseball Reference last night for about an hour or so on all these guys. Omar Vizquel, keeping you, and Billy Wagner, keeping you for now. So I crossed off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys. So my ballot there, hopefully you can see it. There's 30. Now it's down to 21 possibilities that I'm considering. This is just the way I'm doing my ballot, okay? It's not like I put a ton of like scientific method type approaches into this. Okay, so now that I've eliminated 9, I think I'm going to vote for all 10 guys. That you can vote for 10 players. I think I'm going to do that. If I actually had a vote, I would probably do that. So now I'm going to go and choose the guys that I'm for sure voting for. All right. So here we go. Bobby Abreu, not so fast yet. Barry Bonds. I am voting for Barry Bonds. So I'm going to circle Barry Bonds and I'll give him an X in the box. Barry Bonds, unbelievable player, obviously. To me, he was a Hall of Famer before everything going on with performance-enhancing drugs. After that, crazy numbers, unbelievable walks, homers, on-base percentage through the roof. I got mad like everybody else did with the steroids era 20 years ago. I move on with my life. I forgive and forget. Time heals all wounds. So many of these guys have either the specter of performance-enhancing drugs, or they were caught, or they were named in a Mitchell report, whatever it is. At this point, I just don't care enough, so I'm putting these guys in. If you disagree with that, that's fine. I don't really care. This is what I'm doing. Barry Bonds, in. Roger Clemens, in. Again, Hall of Famer before performance-enhancing drugs, whatever was going on with him. The Rocket. I'm not saying I approve of everything these folks did. It's the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's a museum, okay? This is freaking baseball. This is baseball, all right? This isn't the best person of the year. This is baseball. They're baseball careers. I'm not looking that much off the field with all these guys. Okay, Bonds in, Clemens in, Prince Fielder, not so fast yet. Todd Helton, not so fast yet. Ryan Howard, not so fast yet. Andrew Jones, not so fast yet. Jeff Kent, not so fast yet. Joe Nathan, not so fast yet. Big Papi, David Ortiz, boom. To me, if you say a name and in your brain, boom. By the way, I'm wearing hats a lot, not just for a fashion statement. My hair's messed up. That's the only reason. I say a name in my brain, I think Hall of Famer. That's Barry Bonds. That's Roger Clemens. That's Big Papi, David Ortiz. Andy Pettit, he's not quite there yet. I'm not saying I'm not going to vote him in. This is how I'm doing my fake ballot. This is not a real ballot. I don't have a ballot. I do think broadcasters, TV, radio should actually have a ballot. I don't think it should all be about the writers, but whatever. It is what it is. Baseball, it's always been about the writers. Who cares? I'm not going to complain that much. It's not like I'm losing sleep over that. Manny Ramirez, boom, he's in. When I say Man Ram, when I say Manny Ramirez, I think Hall of Famer. All these guys I know. There's stuff going around with all these guys, and who knows exactly what everybody was doing. At this point, I don't care that much. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Fame person. I'm not saying back in the day I liked him for everything he did off the field, although I think he's doing a good job of getting back in the good graces of baseball through broadcasting. I don't know if he still has that show. I think it was on CNBC where he was helping former athletes who had lost their money, and A-Rod Corps, and he's a very good businessman. Scott Rolen, I'm not putting you in yet because these are kind of first ballots for me in terms of if I see your name and I think, boom, Hall of Famer. Scott Rolen is not in that category for me. Sammy Sosa is. I'm sorry. He just is. 600 homers. Maybe it's because I remember the home run chase, 98. and the American flag after 9/11. But when I hear the name Sammy Sosa, I think Baseball Hall of Famer. So Mark Teixeira, no on that front. Omar Vizquel, no on that front. Billy Wagner, no on that front. So of what I would call the names that I just say them and they scream Hall of Famer, it's Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, and Sammy Sosa. That is 6 guys. So 6 guys in so far. The circle, the X. This is my fake ballot right here. All right, now comes the really tough decisions to make. I'm going to put 4 more guys in. These are tough, man. So Bobby Abreu is a player that when I say his name, I don't immediately think Hall of Famer. And then I went and looked. This man had 400 stolen bases, 400 stolen bases in his career. And I actually got his page up right now. Bobby Abreu, a career 395 on base percentage, career 291 batting average, career 475 slug, career 870 OPS for a 128 OPS plus, 288 homers. Man, 400 stolen bases. That surprised me for Bobby Abreu to go along with a 395 on base percentage, but still, I don't think I'm putting him in just yet. So Prince Fielder, very good player, but he's not in right now. Todd Helton, very good player, another first baseman, kind of a la Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder had a much shorter career, very prolific, but then a shorter career because of injury. Ryan Howard, now that I start to break it down, I think I was supposed to actually cross out Ryan Howard earlier. I can't remember because, again, this isn't very scientific. So, all right, Andrew Jones, Jeff Kent. Okay, I think I'm putting Jeff Kent in. Jeff Kent from the second base position. Jeff Kent with an MVP. Let me look up his numbers real quick. I looked at him last night. I don't have the greatest memory in the world. Jeff Kent. I just think when you put up unbelievable offensive numbers from a position where you don't always have guys like that in terms of they're not a corner infielder, corner outfielder. Jeff Kent as a second baseman with 377 career homers, over 1,500 RBIs, a 500 career slug, a 356 career OBP, and a 123 OPS plus. I know he wasn't the greatest defensive player. This man also Silver Sluggers. He won the MVP award in the year 2000. So I'm sorry, Jeff Kent from the second base position. To me, Jeff Kent, you're a Hall of Famer. Joe Nathan, no right now. Jonathan Papelbon, no. Andy Pettitte is a tough one. Andy Pettitte. See, when I say the name Andy Pettitte, I think Hall of Famer. I know a lot of that has to do with New York, with the Yankees. I know he has everything going on with the PEDs as well. And he said he took the HGH because he was trying to get over injury and something with his dad. I can't even remember. I should look that up. But Andy Pettitte in the postseason, Andy Pettitte's postseason numbers are just ridiculous. And I'm not breaking any news here, but I think when you see them, you're going to just say, oh, yes, he was ridiculous in the postseason. Obviously, in the regular season, 256 wins, 153 losses, career ERA 3.85. I don't love that. Career FIP 3.74, almost 2,500 strikeouts. But to me, a big game pitcher when he showed up when it meant the most in terms of in the postseason. So here we go. Here I'm trying to find postseason pitching. Of course, World Series champion 96, 98, 99, 2000, and 2009. So he has 5 rings. His career record in the postseason, 19-11 with a 3.81 ERA. He threw 276 2/3 innings in the postseason. So maybe I'm falling victim to New York and the Pinstripes and the Yankees, but I'm sorry. I watched that team growing up, and Andy Pettitte was a part of that core 4, and he was one of the pieces of that great Yankees dynasty. 5 World Series championships, big game pitcher. I know the ERA isn't great. I'm putting Andy Pettitte in the Hall of Fame. So That is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. I feel like I maybe shouldn't have put Andy Pettit in so quickly because now I'm starting to look at other guys. Here's the deal. Scott Rolen, probably the player I've looked at and thought about more than anybody, because in St. Louis, we talk about him nonstop. Unbelievable defensive player and really underrated in the sense that I think when Scott Rolen retired, you probably didn't think Hall of Famer necessarily. I don't think I did, but then when you go back over time, he's one of those guys I think you appreciate more when you step back, you look at his numbers. 17 years in the big leagues. I know banged up at the end, but 316 home runs, almost 1,300 RBI, 281 average, 364 on base. That's very, very good. 490 slug for an 855 OPS, 122 OPS plus. So you're 22% above league average offensively. And oh, by the way, this dude defensively at a position that matters, the third base position, was unbelievable. He also has a Rookie of the Year, Gold Gloves. How many are we talking here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Gold Gloves, a bunch of All-Star games. This is not just a homer pick. So what do we got here? 97 Rookie of the Year, 7 All-Star games, 8 Gold Gloves, a Silver Slugger, unbelievable defense, really, really good, solid offensive player with some of those counting stats like above 300 homers and almost 1,300 RBI. Scott Rolen, as I look back, Scott Rolen is a Hall of Famer. I'm not just saying that. Now, maybe I've looked at him more because he was a Cardinal, and a lot of Cardinals media folks are really advocating for him. But I follow all that. I read it, and I agree. Scott Rolen is a baseball Hall of Famer. So that's 9. This is going to be the really tough decision here. So here we go. Recapping. Barry Bonds in. Roger Clemens in. Jeff Kent in. David Ortiz in. Andy Pettit in. Manny Ramirez in. Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod in. Scott Rolen in. Sammy Sosa in. That is 9. This is going to be the tough one. My final choice. Okay. I got to bounce. So I'm gonna eliminate some folks. I got to eliminate Omar Vizquel. Great defensively, not that great offensively. I only have one more vote. Okay. Prince Fielder, I'm eliminating you for now. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking as I'm writing here. Todd Helton, eliminating you for now. Bobby Abreu, eliminating you for now. Mark Teixeira, I'm eliminating you for now, only because I have only one more choice here. So here's, Joe Nathan, really nice career. Better than I thought, actually. I'm eliminating you for now. Jonathan Papelbon, eliminating you for now. Only because when you look at closers, when you look at the 3 with Nathan, Papelbon, and Billy Wagner, I was looking at numbers last night, and Billy Wagner is, in my opinion, by far the best of those 3. So if I'm going to pick anybody out of those 3, it's going to be Billy Wagner. So I got 9 guys in, and now I'm down to Andrew Jones, to Kurt Schilling, to Gary Sheffield, and to Billy Wagner. So I now have a tough call. I'm also almost second guessing that I put Jeff Kent in. Well, Jeff Kent, Andy Pettit, I'm wondering if I put them in too quickly because this is a hard choice. This is why I don't rip on all the writers. This is difficult. I'll keep Jeff Kent and Andy Pettit because we already did this. So to me, I have one more spot, and it's down to Andrew Jones, Kurt Schilling, Gary Sheffield, and Billy Wagner. I almost feel like I need to kind of look up numbers again because I don't really remember exactly what all these guys were about. I looked last night, but this is important, guys. This is important. I need to double back, make sure I make a good choice. Billy Wagner, 16 years in the big leagues, a career ERA of 2.31, 422 saves, 1,196 strikeouts in 903 innings, bunch of all-stars, MVP votes, couple years, a top 10 Cy Young performance. Awesome closer, Billy Wagner. All right. I'm sorry. I have to go do one last look at these numbers on these last 4. okay? Andrew Jones, we know, fantastic defensively. Offensively, 434 homers, almost 1,300 RBI. Not great average on base, really good slug, 486, OPS plus 111, but he was awesome in center field, a premier position defensively with all those gold gloves for Andrew Jones. We're talking 5 All-Star games, 10 gold glove awards. So, but offensively, a lot of home runs, but not a great OPS plus. All right, Curt Schilling, another big game pitcher, postseason pitcher. Not quite, I don't think of him the same way as Andy Pettitte in the postseason, although I bet you his actual raw numbers in terms of ERA and all that, probably better. Curt Schilling, 20 years in the bigs, 216 wins, 146 losses, 3.46 ERA, tons of strikeouts, 3,116 strikeouts in 3,261 innings in the postseason. 2.23 ERA, 11-2, World Series championships. He was the MVP in 2001 with Arizona, 2004, of course, bloody sock time, Boston Red Sox, 2007 with the Red Sox. And now that I look at this, his postseason numbers are way better than Andy Pettitte's in terms of the ERA. He has 3 championships. Also was on that 93 Phillies team that didn't win the World Series, but was really good back then. So his numbers are better in terms of ERA and all that than Andy Pettitte in the postseason. Andy Pettitte had more appearances. So now I'm almost thinking Curt Schilling's got to be in there if Andy Pettitte is in there. So you know what? I think I just convinced myself. I'm going to look at Gary Sheffield real quick just to make sure I haven't missed anything and I don't overlook him. Gary Sheffield, phenom. Everybody loves the way he stood at the plate with his bat and just whipping it back and forth. Gary Sheffield, man, 393 career on base percentage, 509 homers, almost 1,700 RBI, 514 slug, 907 OPS, 140 OPS plus. Dang, 40% above league average. That is fantastic. World Series championship 1997 with the Florida Marlins. Not great in the postseason, but not poor by any means. This is difficult now because, man, I almost forgot that Gary Sheffield had over 500 home runs, 509 home runs. And man, OPS plus 140, OPS over 907. Awesome. I mean, a career 292 average, a career 393 on base, a career 514 slug. This is difficult. I put myself in a corner here. I'm going to eliminate Andrew Jones. I'm going to eliminate Billy Wagner. Was Gary Sheffield better than Jeff Kent? That's a question I'm asking you guys. I don't know the answer to that. Was Gary Sheffield better than Jeff Kent? Jeff Kent playing second base. Gary Sheffield mostly outfield, even though he came up as a shortstop and third baseman. So let's look at Gary Sheffield defensively. I know he came up as a shortstop. I remember seeing his baseball cards back in the day. Shortstop for his first couple years in Milwaukee, played some third base, some DH, some third base with the Padres, a lot of third base actually. So ton of outfield. So in total, he played 468 games at third base. He played 94 games at shortstop, a ton of games in the outfield, obviously 1,641 games in the outfield. Now I'm starting to wonder if I should put Gary Sheffield in over Jeff Kent. I'm starting to second guess myself, folks. And then I feel like if Andy Pettitte is in, Curt Schilling needs to be in. I know some people don't like Curt Schilling for everything he says and comments and all that, but I'm not bringing that into the equation. I didn't really bring in PEDs to this equation. So you know what? If I have Andy Pettitte in, I think I got to put Curt Schilling in. So Curt Schilling is my 10th guy, except dun, dun, dun. I might have to make a switch here. This isn't scientific. I'm going against my own criteria here, but I'm just starting to think. I can't do a straight homer play on Scott Rolen because was Scott Rolen better than Gary Sheffield? Was Scott Rolen better than Gary Sheffield? What do you guys think? Don't just don't just answer this as a St. Louis Cardinal fan. I know that Gary Sheffield has everything going on the specter of performance enhancing drugs. I can't remember exactly what is attached to him, but we know something is. I just forgot to look it up, but Scott Rolen doesn't have that attached to him. But who's a better baseball player? Scott Rolen, awesome defensively. Gary Sheffield, Jeff Kent. Now I'm thinking about taking Jeff Kent off. So man, I'm gonna scratch off Billy Wagner. What did I do? I already put in Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling gets the X. I feel like it's a homer move too, to just guarantee that Scott Rolen gets in. Because I'm not so sure if you go Scott Rolen, Gary Sheffield, I almost think both those guys were better than Jeff Kent now. So you know what? I don't want to make this too long. So I'm gonna do a Peyton Manning audible. I'm actually now crossing off Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent, I'm crossing you off, and I'm putting in the Baseball Hall of Fame, Gary freaking Sheffield. Gary Sheffield, and of course, right at the end here, now my pen is not working. So there it is. Wasn't super scientific. Look at this. There's all kinds of X's, circles. How am I doing this? Circles, X's, scratch offs. So my final Hall of Fame ballot, which doesn't count because I actually don't have a ballot, is, here it is. All right. Charlie Marlow's fake 2022 Hall of Fame ballot. Welcome to the fake Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, David Big Papi Ortiz. I got to make sure I cross off Andrew Jones. Andy Pettitte, Manny Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, Scott Rolen, Curt Schilling, Gary Sheffield, and Samuel Sosa. That is your 10 Charlie Marlow's fake ballot for the 2022 Baseball Hall of Fame. Here it is one more time. Thank you, everybody, for watching here on YouTube. Please comment, like, subscribe. Where was I wrong? Where was I right? Look, this is just, it's difficult. When you actually go through this, I understand this is very difficult for the writers because you get down to a lot of guys who are similar. And I didn't do like all the research that all these writers do because a lot of these guys take it super, super seriously, as they should. Who's your 10? Why don't you comment in the comments section and throw in who you think your 10 would be. One final time: Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, David Ortiz, Andy Pettitte, Manny Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, Scott Rolen, Curt Schilling, Gary Sheffield, and Sammy Sosa. It looks like I'm very biased towards position players in terms of in a positive way. And it looks like I'm not too favorable with the closers. Billy Wagner, really, really good career. And starting pitchers, I put in how many? I put in 3. Roger Clemens, Andy Pettitte, Curt Schilling, 3 starting pitchers, 0 relievers, and 7 position players. 7 position players: Barry Bonds, David Ortiz, Man Ram, A-Rod, Scott Rolen, Gary Sheffield, and swinging Sammy Sosa. There you go. I don't think this video was too long. Hopefully it was interesting. If it wasn't, then tell me. I'll try to be better the next time. Just trying to put some baseball content out there because I'm tired of the lockout. I'm tired of people not talking about baseball. And I think you guys want to talk Cardinals. You want to talk Hall of Fame, Major League Baseball. Throw in some comments. What do you want the next video to be about? I will try to make one 2-3 times a week. And hell, maybe I'll make one every day if you guys are in. Who knows? Thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody.